the impossible discovery far beyond the busy human colonies. There was a silent region of space that most scanners ignored. It was cold, dark, and filled with broken rocks left behind by dead stars. Humans called it the Grey Belt, and no one expected anything important to be there. One quiet cycle. A deep space observatory picked up something strange. At first, it looked like a shadow. Not a ship, not a planet, just a shape where stars should have been visible. The shadow was too large, far too large. Scientists zoomed in and felt their breath stop. The object was almost the size of a small planet. Yet it was moving, slowly and with purpose. Planets did not move like that. Dr. Elias Verne stood in the control room, staring at the floating image. He had spent his life studying space, but he had never seen anything like this. The object had clean edges, smooth curves, and a strange dark surface that absorbed light. It was not natural. More scans were ordered. Energy readings came back active, even after millions of years. No known alien race had technology that could survive for that long. Even the oldest empires in the galaxy had limits. News of the discovery spread fast. Human commanders, scientists, and explorers gathered to review the data. Alien observers were also watching. Though none of them spoke openly, they all felt the same thing: fear. The location made the discovery even more shocking. The object was deep inside human-controlled space. No war records mentioned an invasion. No treaties spoke of a gift. It was as if the object had always been there, waiting. A decision was made quickly. A small exploration team would approach the object. No weapons, no hostile signals. Just observation. If the object reacted badly, they would retreat. The exploration ship drifted closer. As distance closed, details became clearer. The surface was covered in massive patterns, lines that stretched for hundreds of kilometers. They looked like symbols, but no one could read them. As the human ship entered close orbit, something impossible happened. The dark surface shifted slightly. Lights appeared, faint at first, then brighter. The object had noticed them. Inside the human ship, alarms stayed silent. No attack came, no warning. Instead, the object adjusted its position, turning gently, almost like it was looking back. Commander Rhea Solis felt a chill run through her body. She had faced pirates and alien fleets, but this felt different. This felt personal. Scanners now showed openings on the surface, huge structures slowly unlocking after endless sleep. The scale was beyond belief. Each opening was larger than any human city. The team prepared landing pods. Every movement was recorded and sent back to Earth. Billions of humans were now watching, holding their breath. The galaxy was watching too. As the first pod touched the surface, the ground felt warm, not hot, not cold, but alive. The metal beneath their feet reacted softly, glowing under human steps. No alien tech had ever done that. Dr. Verne whispered the thought no one wanted to say out loud. This thing was not just ancient, it was waiting for humans, deep beneath the surface. Systems began to wake. Power flowed through structures older than recorded time, and somewhere, inside the massive object, a signal prepared to speak. Humanity believed they had found a dead relic. They were wrong. They had found something that was never meant to be lost, and the discovery would change the galaxy forever. The ship that should not exist, the landing team stood still for several seconds, unsure if they were truly safe. The surface beneath them felt smooth and warm, almost breathing. Every step caused soft lines of light to appear and fade, like the ship was reacting to their presence. Commander Rhea Solis raised her hand, signaling the team to move forward slowly. No one spoke loudly, as if sound itself might wake something dangerous. The air was thin but stable, held in place by an unseen force. Dr. Elias Verne knelt down and touched the metal floor. His scanners struggled to read the material. It was not steel, not alloy, not anything in human records. The surface repaired itself instantly where his tools scratched it. The team moved toward one of the massive openings. From far away, it had looked like a simple doorway. Up close, it was taller than a mountain and wide enough to swallow fleets, yet it opened silently. Without gears or engines, inside, the space was beyond human scale. Endless corridors curved gently, glowing with a soft blue light. The walls shifted slightly as the team passed, reshaping themselves. It felt less like walking through a ship and more like entering a living structure. Sensors detected power flowing everywhere. Energy levels exceeded anything humanity had ever produced. and yet the system felt controlled, calm, and patient, as if it had been waiting for a very long time. One of the crew members whispered that this ship should not exist. No known civilization could build something this large. Even the strongest alien empires barely controlled single-star megastructures. This was something else entirely. As the team advanced, holographic symbols appeared in the air. They shifted and changed, reacting to human movement. At first, they looked alien and unreadable. Then slowly, they began to change. Letters formed, not perfectly, but close enough to understand. The language was ancient Earth English, distorted by time. The crew froze in place, unable to believe what they were seeing. The ship was translating itself for them. Not for aliens, not for machines, only for humans. Dr. Verne felt his hands shake as he recorded the data. This meant the ship knew who they were. It recognized their biology, their movement, their presence. That was impossible, unless, before anyone could finish the thought, the floor shifted again. A wide platform rose from beneath them, lifting the team upward. They did not fight it, knowing resistance was useless. The platform carried them deep into the ship's core. The chamber they entered was vast and silent. A sphere of light floated at its center, pulsing slowly. Streams of data flowed around it like rivers. This was the heart of the ship, the moment. The humans stepped forward. The sphere brightened. A calm, powerful voice echoed through the chamber. It did not sound mechanical. It sounded familiar. The voice spoke clearly, slowly. Heirs of Earth. Identity confirmed. Access granted. Several crew members gasped. Commander Solis felt the weight of history pressing down on her. This ship was not just ancient technology. It was connected to humanity itself. Outside the ship, alien observers intercepted the energy spike. Across the galaxy, hidden sensors detected the awakening. Old records long ignored began to unlock themselves. Fear spread faster than light inside the chamber. The glowing sphere continued to pulse. Systems once thought dead came fully online. The ship was no longer sleeping. Humanity had believed itself young in a vast and ancient galaxy. But standing inside the impossible ship, that belief began to crack, because this ship did not treat humans as guests. It treated them as its rightful owners. The truth, buried in time, the glowing sphere hovered silently in the center of the chamber. Its light moved in slow waves, like a calm ocean. Every human in the room felt the same pressure in their chest. Not fear, but something deeper. Something forgotten. Commander Rhea Solis stepped forward. Her voice steady but quiet. She asked the question all of them were thinking. What is this place? And why does it know us? The sphere pulsed once, brighter than before. Then streams of light spread across the chamber walls. Images formed in the air, sharp and clear. The ship was about to tell its story. The first image showed stars being born, young galaxies spinning slowly in the dark. Then ships appeared, countless ships, not alien in shape, but strangely familiar. Dr. Elias Verne felt his heart race. The ships in the vision looked human, not modern human, but clearly designed by human minds. Strong lines, practical shapes, and controlled power. The sphere spoke, again, its voice calm and ancient. Long before the current age, humanity walked among the stars. Earth was not the beginning, but the return point. The crew stood frozen as the images continued. They saw humans shaping worlds, stabilizing stars, building guardians to protect life across the galaxy. Planet-sized starships were only one part of a vast network. The vision shifted, turning darker. A great threat appeared, not a single species, but a force that consumed stars and erased civilizations. Even humanity could not destroy it completely to save the galaxy, the sphere explained. Humans made a choice no other species would dare. They sealed away their greatest technologies and reset themselves. Earth was created as a safe cradle, a world where humanity could start again, free from the weight of endless war and responsibility. Their memories locked, their power hidden. Dr. Verne whispered that it was impossible. Memory loss on a species level broke every known rule. But the ship corrected him gently. Humanity had written those rules long ago. The images now showed the starship drifting into silence, hiding itself within human space before humans even knew spaceflight, waiting for a specific signal, waiting for humans to grow again. The sphere focused its light on the crew. Your species was never abandoned. It said, you were protected until you were ready. Commander Solis felt anger and pride collide inside her. Humans had been seen as weak, slow, and divided. Alien empires mocked their short history, never knowing the truth. The vision ended with a warning. The ancient threat was stirring once more. The galaxy's balance was failing, and the old guardians were needed again. One crew member asked the hardest question: why now? The sphere dimmed slightly. Eclipse, others have found fragments of what was hidden, it replied, and they fear what they do not understand. Outside the ship, distant alien networks began to light up. Secret archives opened, ancient warnings translated at last. The name of humanity appeared again and again. Inside the chamber, the humans understood the weight of what they had learned. They were not explorers finding ancient power. They were heirs, reclaiming a forgotten duty. The sphere's voice softened for the first time. You are meant to choose your path freely, not as rulers, not as conquerors, but as guardians. As the lights dimmed, the ship remained awake, waiting for humanity's decision. And across the galaxy, forces both fearful and hostile began to move. Because the truth, buried in time, was no longer sleeping. The galaxy panics. The moment the ancient ship fully awakened, the galaxy felt it. Energy waves spread faster than any normal signal. Hidden sensors, forgotten by time, suddenly came online. Old systems remembered a name they were programmed to fear. Across distant star systems, alien monitoring stations flashed red alerts. Data that had slept for millions of years unlocked itself. Ancient warnings appeared on screens in languages long unused. Every message carried the same meaning: humanity has returned. In the High Council of the Valorian Union, silence filled the chamber. Elder species who had ruled for thousands of years stared at the data. They had always believed humans were young and harmless, a short-lived species from a quiet corner of space. Now that belief was breaking. Archived war records resurfaced. Stories once dismissed as myths were confirmed by hard data. They spoke of beings who built ships the size of worlds, beings who chose protection over conquest. Fear spread quickly. Some alien leaders demanded immediate action. They argued that humans must be stopped before they remembered too much. Others urged caution, reminding the Council of ancient defeats. Entire fleets lost without a single human shot fired. On distant military worlds, fleets were placed on high alert. Weapons charged, crews recalled. Orders were given in secret. No one wanted to admit they were afraid of humans. Meanwhile, inside human space, the ancient ship remained calm. Commander Rhea Solis and her team returned to their vessel. Their faces carried the weight of the truth. They now knew humanity was no longer just a growing species. They were a forgotten power. Earth's leaders received the full report. The truth shocked the world. Some people felt pride, others fear. Most struggled to accept that humanity's past was greater than its present. Dr. Elias Verne spoke carefully during the global briefing. He explained that the ship had not forced control or commands. It offered knowledge, not orders, choice, not destiny. That choice frightened many. As debates filled human networks, alien movements increased. Scouts crossed borders under false reasons. Spy drones watched human colonies more closely than ever. The galaxy was preparing for the worst. Then it happened. A coalition of aggressive empires made a decision. They would test humanity before it grew stronger. A fleet was assembled under the excuse of a border patrol. Its true mission was clear: approach human space, provoke a response, measure their strength. The fleet moved silently through hyperspace. Dozens of warships armed with weapons designed to crack planets. Their commanders believed humans would hesitate, that fear and confusion would slow them down. They were wrong. The ancient ship detected the fleet long before it crossed the border. It did not sound alarms. It did not raise defenses. Instead, it sent a simple signal to Earth. Commander Solis stood in the command center as the message played. Unknown vessels approaching. Intent classified as hostile. Recommendation: prepare. Human leaders looked to the ancient ship for guidance. But no command came. No automated defense activated. The choice remained human. Across the galaxy, observers held their breath. They expected panic, surrender, or chaos. They expected humans to act like a young species. Instead, humanity did something unexpected. They stayed calm. Colonies activated emergency protocols without fear. Civilians were moved safely. Military units prepared with quiet focus. And deep beneath human space, Systems older than memory began to stir. The galaxy did not yet realize it, but the moment humanity chose calm over fear, the balance of power shifted. The ancient ship remained silent, watching, waiting. As the galaxy learned a hard truth, humanity was awake. When humanity wakes up, the hostile fleet crossed the final boundary into human space. Its commanders expected confusion, panic, maybe desperate messages. What they found instead was silence, calm, controlled, and deliberate. Human colonies did not fire first. No threats were broadcast. No pleas for peace were sent. That silence unsettled the attackers more than weapons ever could. Inside Earth's command center, leaders watched the fleets advance. They felt fear, but it did not control them. Humanity had learned something from the ancient ship. Strength did not need to shout. Commander Rhea Solus stood beside Dr. Elias Verne. Both understood the weight of the moment. This was not just a battle. It was a test of who humanity would become. As the enemy fleet moved closer, something shifted in space itself. Not an explosion, not a weapon, but a change in reality. Sensors across the galaxy struggled to explain it. Hidden across human systems, massive structures powered on. They were not built recently. They had always been there, sleeping beneath moons, inside stars, between dimensions. One by one, they awakened. The hostile fleet systems began to fail. Targeting arrays lost lock. Communication channels filled with static. Even basic navigation started to drift. Panic spread through alien command ships. Engineers shouted conflicting reports. Nothing appeared damaged, yet nothing worked as it should. The ancient ship sent a single pulse, not a weapon, a signal. It carried authority older than the current galaxy. Human forces still did not attack. Instead, Commander Solus authorized a broadcast. It went out on open channels, clear and simple. This is human space. You are not under attack. Turn back. The alien commanders hesitated. Their weapons were useless. Their fleets exposed. For the first time, they understood their mistake. Some ships attempted to retreat. Hyperspace drives failed to engage. Others tried to fire. Their weapons shut down before charging. The galaxy watched in disbelief. Humanity was winning without fighting, without destruction, without hatred. Dr. Elias Verne realized the truth. In that moment, this was how the ancient guardians had ruled, not through fear, but through absolute control of balance. The hostile fleet was left powerless, floating at the edge of human space, alive, unharmed, and defeated. A message to all who are watching. The ancient ship spoke again, but only to humans. You are ready, it said, not because you are strong, but because you chose restraint. Human leaders shared one look of understanding. This power was not a weapon, it was a responsibility. Across alien territories, panic turned into realization. Attacking humanity was no longer an option. The old stories were true, and worse, they had been kind stories. As the hostile fleet finally regained basic control and retreated, human space returned to normal. No wreckage, no victory parades, just silence and reflection. The galaxy had expected war. What it witnessed instead was awakening. Humanity had not shown its full strength, but it had shown something far more dangerous: control. The new age of the galaxy, the retreat of the hostile fleet, echoed across the galaxy, not as a defeat, but as a warning. Every major power understood what had happened. Humanity had chosen restraint, and that choice changed everything. In alien capitals, emergency councils turned into long, silent meetings. Old plans were diluted. Military strategies were abandoned. No one wanted to be the next to test human patience. For the first time in galactic history, fear was replaced by respect. On Earth, humanity did not celebrate. There were no victory signals, no songs of conquest. Instead, leaders focused on understanding the responsibility they now carried. Commander Rhea Solus stood once more inside the ancient ship. The glowing sphere hovered, calmly, no longer testing, no longer warning, simply waiting. Humanity had been given knowledge, not all at once, only what they were ready to handle. The ship unlocked systems slowly, carefully. Dr. Elias Verne explained it to the world. This power was not meant to rule the galaxy. It was meant to protect balance, to stop extinction, not cause it. The ancient ship sent a message beyond human space, open, clear, and peaceful. It was not a threat, it was an invitation. Humanity does not seek control. The message said, we seek stability, cooperation, and survival for all. The galaxy listened. Smaller civilizations, once crushed by empires, reached out first. They asked for protection, for guidance, for hope. Humanity answered carefully, helping rebuild damaged worlds, stopping wars before they began, never forcing obedience. Alien leaders slowly understood the truth. Humans were not returning as rulers, they were returning as guardians. Just as the ancient records had warned, the ancient threat mentioned by the ship remained distant, but it was no longer unseen. Humanity began preparing quietly, not for glory, but for defense. Across the stars, hidden guardian systems activated, not weapons of destruction, but shields, stabilizers, and watchers, tools meant to preserve life. Children on Earth grew up hearing a new story, not of humans as victims or conquerors, but as protectors of a fragile galaxy, a role earned, not claimed. The ancient ship remained in its silent orbit, a reminder of what humanity once was, and what it had chosen to become again, the galaxy.